What is up, big dogs? It's your boy D2 Titans Only, and in this video, I am bringing you guys a disgusting Warlock build that will get you through any solo Lost Sector on Master difficulty and help you and your fire teams complete Grandmaster Nightfalls with ease. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and share it with your fellow Warlock maids. Before we jump into this build, Guardians, I want to quickly plug something even more engaging than this insane Warlock build. It's a podcast called Because I'm John Sellmeyer. If you're into movies, music, or just enjoy talking about life with strangers on the internet, you'll definitely want to check it out. Click the Spotify link in the description below, and thanks for being a sponsor. Now back to the build that's going to help you carry your crayon-eating Titan friends through Grandmasters. Disclaimer, I can say that because I'm a Titan mate. Now, I'd like for you guys to take a close look at the screen, as I am in an absolute battle for my life. I'm at about 20-29 light, fighting a plethora of champions and enemies at 20-50 light in this Lost Sector on Master difficulty. But the thing is, I come out of this battle unscathed and finish this Lost Sector flawlessly without dying. And that's all thanks to this insane Warlock build, which starts off with the prismatic subclass in the Warlock Super Song of Flame. Song of Flame unleashes the Warlock's inner fire, making our equipped abilities and weapons radiant, which means we get a 25% increase in our damage, and we can deal with barrier champions. It also enhances our abilities. We can release our melee attack to release a supercharged projectile, which is great for Adler, and we can use our grenade ability to create a sentient flame wisp that seeks out targets, detonates, and then creates a scorching explosion that seeks out other nearby targets. For the abilities in this build, we are using Healing Rift, which grants us a 20% damage resistance during the cast, and it heals us and nearby allies 40 HP per second. If we are at full health, it grants us up to 15 HP of an overshield, which also grants us an additional 50% resistance, making us unkillable. For our melee ability, we are using Penumbral Blast. Anytime we use our empowered melee ability, we will raise our staff at our enemies and send out a freezing stasis burst that can slow nearby targets on impact. This is great for dealing with champions and large groups of enemies that could potentially burst us down quickly. The next ability we are using is the Cold Snap Grenade. Cold Snap Grenade freezes targets on impact and sends out another Seeker to freeze other nearby targets. Cold Snap Grenade is going to play a huge part in our build, but the grenade itself really isn't that important. What's important is the aspect we are pairing it with, which is Bleak Watcher. Bleak Watcher lets us charge our grenade into a stasis turret that fires slowing projectiles at nearby targets, freezing and slowing them, keeping us safe. Later in the build, we are going to make this even stronger, so make sure to stick around. The second aspect we are rocking is Feed the Void. Anytime we defeat a target with an ability or a target impacted by one of our abilities, we are granted Devour. Our Devour effects are also improved. Devour is going to restore health and grant us additional grenade energy, helping us get our stasis turret up even faster. Now let's dive into the fragments and make sure our subclass has everything it needs for in-game content. First fragment in this build is the Facet of Devotion. The Facet of Devotion grants us bonus light transcendence energy for defeating targets with stasis energy, helping us get transcendence even faster. It also grants us 10 strength. The second fragment we are running is the Facet of Balance. The Facet of Balance grants us melee energy for rapidly defeating targets with light damage and grenade energy for defeating targets with darkness. 3 kills within seconds of each other grants us about 10% energy, which is absolutely insane. Third fragment we are running is the Facet of Ruin, which is going to increase the size of solar ignitions from our super ability and increase the size of the burst of all the stasis targets we will be shattering. It also grants us 10 mobility. The fourth fragment we are running is the Facet of Protection. This is going to give us increased resistance when we are surrounded by targets, and it is increased when we are transcended, making us unkillable. The fifth and final fragment we are running is the Facet of Blessing, which gives us a health regeneration anytime we get a melee final blow, keeping us alive and in the fight even longer. Now let's move along to weapon recommendations. Tenacious Mastery with Chill Clip is a must-have. This allows you to deal with barrier champions due to the seasonal artifact mods, and Chill Clip lets you stun Unstoppable and Overload champions, pretty much making you a triple threat. For my secondary weapon, I opted into using Elsie's rifle with destabilizing rounds and repulsor brace so I could nuke any group of characters and get huge amounts of overshields. And then in my heavy slot, I threw it back to one of my personal favorite weapons, Levias Breath. It has a perk called Big Game Hunter that stuns unshielded combatants and unstoppable champions. Levias Breath also does huge damage and is great for dealing with boss fights and damage checks. But the build isn't complete yet. Next, we're going to be making our Bleaker's Watch even stronger by pairing it with the exotic armor piece Rhymecoat Rain. Rhymecoat Rain has an exotic armor perk called Bleak Domain. Bleak Domain enhances Bleak Watcher by extending its range and surrounding it with stasis crystals and a storm. The stasis crystals can be used as cover to stay alive, or be used as something to throw near large hordes of enemies and create insane explosions. While we stand in the stasis storm, our weapons are granted icicles that slow targets they hit. Now let's move into the armor mods for this build. For the armor mods on our helmet, we are using Void Siphon and Special Ammo Finder. Void Siphon allows us to create an orb of power when we get multiple Void Weapon final blows, and Special Ammo Finder keeps our Tenacious Mastery fully loaded at all times. For the Gauntlets, I opted into using Firepower and Heavy-Handed so that Empowered Melee and Grenade ability final blows grant orbs of power. For the chest piece, just run whatever resistance mods fit the encounter you are on. On the leg armor mods, I ran Double Absolution and Better Already. Absolution grants all of our abilities cooldown anytime we pick up an Orb of Power, and Better Already grants us health regeneration upon picking up an Orb of Power. And last but not least, for our class item, we are rocking Bomber, Special Finisher, and Distribution. Bomber grants grenade cooldown when we use our class ability near targets. Special Finisher grants us special ammo anytime we finish a target while having an armor charge. And Distribution reduces all of our ability cooldowns anytime we use our class ability near enemies. This build is pretty future-proof, so seasonal artifact mods don't make a huge difference, but here's what I've been using. I would just make sure you have on Piercing Sidearms, Dreadful Finisher, and Gold from Lead. If you guys have stayed this long, I would greatly appreciate it if you like or subscribe. And if you'd like to see more build videos like this one, please click the video on the middle of your screen. Don't forget to check out the Because I'm John Sellmeyer podcast in the description. There may or may not be a gaming episode, but you'll just have to find out. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace!